All right, one more lesson for this week. And I apologize. I have not been using your names in the lessons like I was before. I think I'm getting a little lazy. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. Maybe I'll remember to do that today. Repeating decimals. It's hard for me to go from one lesson to the next, to the next, to the next. So repeating decimals are, you're dividing, you have to go into the decimal, and we saw that a few times in some of the other problems we did, where that decimal just literally just keeps going on for all of eternity. So what do we do with it? Some decimals are called terminating decimals, okay, and that means they end. So if we do 1 divided by 4, we're starting out with 1/4, and we divide that out, we get 0.25, and it ends. It resolves itself. A repeating decimal, on the other hand, would keep on going forever. If we did 1/3 and divided it out, we would get 0.3 for all of eternity. So there's 2 ways you could write it. You could write 0.3 with 3 dots after it, or the more likely thing you're going to do, and what you're going to see in your book, is a 3 with a line over top of it. And that just tells you that that 3 is repeating forever and ever. Now, in the case of 5 6s, when we do it, the 8 does not repeat, but once we get to the 3, it starts repeating forever. So the decimal for that would be 8 with 3 repeating. And notice the line is only over the 3. If the line was over the 8 and the 3, that would be telling you that it looks like this for all of eternity. And that's not what's happening here. What's happening is the 8 only happened once. Now the 3 is repeating. So then you know it looks like this. Okay? Whoops. Forever and ever. Okay? That where you place that line matters. So yesterday we learned some that we have to memorize. Let's see if I can remember them without looking back. 1/4. Do you remember what that was? I think 4 quarters and $1. Did you say 0.25? 1/2. 2 quarters and $1. 50%. 50 cents. 0.5. And then 3/4 is 0.75. All right. If we think of the fifths, I think of 20 cents. There's 5 20 cents in that. So 1/5 would be 0.2, 20. 2/5 would be 0.4, 40. 3/5 would be 0.6, 60. 0.6, and 4/5 would be 0.8. And then we had the really hard ones that I'm going to have to look back on for you. We had the eighths. So 1/8, you remember that? It's 0.125. 3/8 is 0.375. 5/8 is 0.625. And 7/8 is 0.875. You might ask yourself, you may not, but you might ask yourself, okay, if they give us 1/8, and that's 0.125, right? Why don't they give us 2/8 to memorize? Well, they did. 2/8 reduces to 1/4. So 2/8 is 0.25. See that? Then they gave you 3/8 to memorize, and I have to look at that one. It's 0.375. Why did they not give you 4/8? Because what is 4/8? It's 1/2. And 1/2 is 0.5. Then they gave you 5/8. And I believe that's 625, 0.625. Yeah, 0.625. So why didn't they give you 6/8? Because that is 3/4. And that's 0.75. And then they gave you 7/8, and that was 0.875. Why didn't they give you 8/8? Because that's 1. All right, so that's why they don't give you, you might think they're skipping them, but they're not, because they reduce to something else. That's all. All right, so 1/3 is 3 repeating, 0.3 repeating. 2/3 is 0.6 repeating. If you divided that out, you would just get 0.6 for all of eternity. 1/6 is 0.1 with the 6 repeating. okay? And then 5, 6 is 0.8 with the 3 repeating. So there's some more that they want us to memorize, all right? So down below, we're going to change these fractions to decimals. And it looks to me like all of these are ninths. All right, so 1 divided by 9, add a decimal. 9 goes into 10 once, right? That's a 9. And guess what happens? I'm going to get 0.1 repeating for all of eternity. So I'm just going to write that. See that? All right. 2 ninths. That's 2. 18. But guess what happens when I subtract? I get 2 again. So this is going to be 0.2 repeating. 4 ninths is 4 divided by 9. If I'm going too fast, just pause me because I want you to divide it so you can see it. So 9 into 40 is what? 4 times for 36. And guess what? I get a 4 again. So I'm going to get 0.4 repeating for all of eternity. Okay, 5 divided by 9. That would be 5 times. I'm wondering if this is 5 repeating. Sure is. There's a 5. So this is 0.5 repeating. So, do you see a pattern? Oh, do we need to keep dividing or do we have a pattern here? Well, what is 7 ninths going to be? Do you think? Gavin, what's 8 ninths going to be? Ah, you're so smart. Pretty cool, huh? 9s are cool. All right, mark under the incorrect fraction and decimal pairs. So Morgan, is 3/4 0.75? You're correct. Is 1/6 0.133? Leonard, I'll give you that. If you're not sure, look up top. No, that's incorrect. Good job. 2/3. Is that just 0.6? Who do I need to call on? Alex. Good catch, Alex. It's not 0.6. It's 0.6 repeating. So that's incorrect. Morgan, 1/3. Is that 0.3 repeating? Sure is. Leonard, 2/5. Is that 0.4? Good job. 1/8. Will, is that 1/25? It sure is. Gavin, 5/8. Is that 0.626? No, it is not. Very good. Remember, look up top what I wrote on mine. It's 625. 1/4. Alex, is that 0.25? Good. Leonard, 1/5. Is that 0.2? Sure is. Morgan, 1/2. Is that 0.5? Good. Will, 5/6. Is that 0.83 repeating? Ah, good catch, Will. The 3 is repeating, but not the 8. Gavin, 3/5. Is that 0.3? No. Remember, 1/5 is 20, 2/5 is 40, and 3/5 is 60. Good catch, Will. I mean, not Will, Gavin. Sorry. All right. Leonard, 7/8. Is that 0.875? Yes. Alex, 3/11. Is that 0.27 repeating? Wow. I have no idea, Alex. What do you think? Did you say it was wrong? If you said it was wrong, you're right. We haven't done that one. That's a tricky one. So let's watch it. 3 divided by 11. Let's see what it is. So that would be 2, right? 0.2. Now 0.7. And now 0.2. Guess what? It's going to be 0.27 repeating. The whole thing is repeating, not just the 7. Tricky, tricky. Oh my goodness. 1/7. Is that 0.142857? Well, let's see. Where do we have room for that? I don't know. So it's 1 divided by 7, right? So 7 goes into that once. I'm not going to have room for this. Now 7 goes into 34. 0. 7 goes into that twice, and that's 14, and that's a 6. 7 goes into 60, 8, 56. Now I have a 4. Am I getting the same thing they have? I sure am. I'm not going to stop because I'm running out. So that one is correct, by the way. All right, round to the nearest 10th. Okay, Morgan, you get the first one. 0.78, round it to the 10th. 0.8, very good, Morgan. Gavin, you get the next one. 1.29, round it to the nearest 10th. Good job, Gavin. Will, 0.34.
Dad.
Good. Alex, 1.56. Good. And who do I have left? I was listening to Ryan and I forgot where I was at. Let's see. I did Morgan, Gavin. Did I do Will? Did I do Leonard or Alex? I can't remember which one I did. Alex, I'm going to ask you because I can't remember. And if I skipped it, it was supposed to be Leonard. I apologize. I'll do Leonard next. 2.45. What should that be? 2.5. Good job. I'll have you guys to tell me who I forgot. Let's go to the next page. All right. All right, the last page. Round to the nearest 100. So Leonard, you're going to get this one. Round to the nearest 100, Leonard. 0.476. So that means the 6 will determine what the 7 does. Right, 0.48. Morgan, 1.029. Good, 1.03. Will, 4.572. 4.6. Gavin, 0.125. 1. Alex, 4.007. What do you think? Good. Good job. All right. Round to the nearest thousandths. So, in this one, sorry, I was thinking about something. In this one, the 2 is going to determine what the 3 will do. Good. 0.7285 will round to 0.729. See that 3 will not change that 9. In D, the 7 will change the 4. And in E, look at that. Does that 2 change the 0? No. So it's just 3.000, or you could just write 3. Round to the nearest whole number. I'll do this with you because this was kind of new. So 3/5 is that more than a half? Yes, it is. So you round up to 5. Remember, I asked myself, what's half of 5? 2.5, and 3 is bigger. What's half of 17? Do you know? It's about 8.5. So 10 is more than that. So 10 would round that 9 up to a 10. What's half of 7? 3.5. So 5/7 is more than a half. What is 2/9? Well, half of 9 is 4.5. I'm just writing 0.5, but that means half. So it stays. 13 out of 21. What's half of 21? 10.5. So 13 is more than half. So that rounds it up to a 20. All right. I'm going to let you do the rest on your own. Have a good week, guys. Miss you guys. Hopefully, maybe we can get together a week or so before we're still, as teachers, holding out for that one last hope and not officially canceling, because maybe we can. But you guys are so close to being finished with this math book that when we do get back together, you might be done math anyway. I'm sure you'll be very sad about that too. Have a good day. Bye, guys.